everybody. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about using different tools. And yes, children can use Oracle cards just as well as anybody else. They may look a little bit different, but I'm going to show you how I do Oracle reading, and it's individualized. Everybody does it so different. So I hope that you hang tight and hope you enjoy this lesson. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about Oracle cards. Now, Oracle cards are a lot different than tarot cards. Tarot cards are very, very structured. They usually come with 78 cards and very traditional. They have different numbers, different levels, and you really need to understand how to use a tarot deck. It does take a lot of practice to use it. For Oracle card reading, it's a little bit different. So I'm going to show you a card of one of mine, and I will show you how this Oracle card just has a picture. And it also has a word at the bottom and also a statement. So a lot of times whenever I do a reading, I look at the picture and I concentrate and see what element, okay, in the picture that I'm drawn to. So I may be drawn to the bubbles, and there may be some meaning for the bubbles for the person that I am reading for. So now on the bottom it says dolphin, and it says don't worry, be happy. So if it does ring true, then yes, I'll read the very bottom. But it's a lot of times you go with your intuition. So whenever you do a psychic reading with somebody, you are connecting with their energy. So as you're reading their energy, you go with what you feel is right for that person. So that's a little bit different than the tarot cards. The tarot cards tell you exactly the story of what the person needs to hear. It's very precise. Where Oracle cards is more fluid. There's not really a true meaning. And if you look and you Google Oracle cards, there are tons of different kinds of Oracle cards. And let me tell you, whenever you search or your child search for a deck of cards that will work for them, you really need to find something that you are pulled to, that you're going, oh, that makes perfect sense. This will be the deck for me. So I chose a different deck, and I'm going to show you how to use them in a few minutes. But this is my favorite deck. It's Mystical Wisdom. And the reason why I absolutely love it is the artwork. So I am drawn to all the different colors. It has a lot of chakra colors in it. It's just absolutely beautiful artwork. Where somebody else may want to have a different theme, and they may want to go with fairies and just have a fairy deck. So whatever your intention is for the reading. Now I have like 4 or 5 decks. And I know some people probably have 20 or more. So I'm good to go. I know whenever it's time to buy a new deck. But I have 4 decks. So whenever I read for somebody, each deck has a different intention. So if somebody I feel like really need direction in spirit, in spiritual matters, then these are the cards that I choose. I choose Mystical Wisdom. Now, if I have a sitter, a reader who wants to move and they feel like they just don't know what to do with their life and they're kind of stable and things are going very, very slow, I'll choose the Cosmic Dancer. And the Cosmic Dancer has different ways to get you going. And I love it because each card signifies a certain dance. And if you really open up, each card deck comes with a booklet. And it explains what each card means. But again, for Oracle cards, you can go beyond the meaning. So what I normally do is I go over and I practice and I practice and I practice. And I look at the book. And then once I get very comfortable with it, I put the book away. And then I go with my intuitive thoughts and meaning behind it. Now, with this deck, though, it's very interesting because each card, it does have a dance that you can do or the person that can do with it. And it explains how to do each dance. So this is very fun, especially if you're a dancer. This is really fun. But I will show you one card and show you how it is a little bit different than the cards that I just showed you. So like this one right here, it says surrender and trust. Now, when you look at this, it doesn't have as many little details. It just mainly has one main picture. And again, you go with your intuitiveness. You go, what does this card really mean for that person? Okay. So again, I love oracle cards. And I will explain to you how children can actually make their own cards. And then it makes it more simple that way. And I'll explain how to do that. So once your child chooses a deck of cards that they feel very comfortable with, that really, they feel, oh, this is all about me. Because really, you are you're channeling to spirit whenever you do oracle card reading. And so you've got to really be able to connect with your team, because your team will bring whoever you need or whoever needs you to do the reading. So once you do that, now there are different ways that to start an oracle card reading. So whenever you start an oracle card reading, what I always do is I set an intention. And when you set an intention, it just depends on, I always say, I want to connect with my spirit guides, my angels, with the divine. And please give me love and light information for the person that's sitting across from me. And please help me understand the information and help guide this person so that their life is fulfilled. So just set an intention of why you're sitting with the sitter. Then you pull out the cards. And of course, I always get the sitter, do I have permission to read you and connect with your aura? And then once they say yes, then I always close my eyes. I feel my energy and I expand my energy. Okay. And the way that you can do that is always kind of picture my energy moving towards the sitter. Okay. And that visual, and I always ask them, do you feel me? And they go, oh, yes, I feel your energy. So a lot of times they can feel it. Once I connect with them, and sometimes if they feel blocked, I will ask them, can you take a couple of deep breaths with me? Okay, but children I know can probably pick up that information really quickly. But if the sitter is very nervous, sometimes they'll block you. And so I get them to relax a little bit more. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and switch cameras so that you can see my cards and what I'm doing with them as I do a reading. Okay. All right. So let me change the camera real quick. All right, so today what I'm going to do, because I love the Mystical Wisdom card deck, I'm going to go ahead and use these first to show you how I normally do it. Now, if I am with a sitter, a lot of times I will have the sitter do this. I will get so that they can get their energy on there. I just kind of go with what my team has. So, of course, if the sitter is on the internet and I'm talking or on the phone, then I won't be able to do that. But if you're with a sitter, always have the sitter get their energy on their cards and always say, why don't you shuffle them? And the first thing they always say, and I love this, they always say, oh, they're so big. And I go, yes, they are. So your child might have to learn how to shuffle if they're using really big cards. If they're usually using smaller cards, it will be easier. Anyway, so I tell the sitter to go ahead and continue to shuffle until they're done, and then to put it into 3 different piles. Okay, and this just kind of separates them and gives them more opportunities. Then I ask them, okay, pick 3 cards that anywhere in the deck. Okay, so then I have them pick any 3 cards. And I tell them not to look at it because I don't want them to think ahead and have their mindset in a certain way. All right. Now let me show you a different one. I'm going to leave these 3 cards out, and we're just doing the 3 card spread. And in the book, it will explain how to do different spreads. Okay, so they'll be with a child. I would be very basic. I wouldn't do a 10 card spread. I think it would be way too much for them. Either start with a 1 card or a 3 card spread. Now, if the sitter is not in front of me, or some people even like to do this, and it's really hard for me to do this because my hands are not big enough for the cards because they're so big, but they like to move them around until a card pops out. And some people are so good at it, and it's amazing to watch them. And again, my hands are just not are big enough, and not flexible enough to do that. So that's why I do the old time shuffle. But what they do is they keep going, and whatever card flies out, that will be the card that they use. Okay. So this is kind of a reading I guess I could do for myself. But we'll see what the cards come up with and what I can do a small reading. And I always love to tell a story. Oracle cards you can tell a story with. And I just absolutely love that. Okay. So this is, we're going to do past, present, and future. So I'm going to look right here. So here we go. The Archangel Gabriel, messenger of creativity and hope. So what I'm really getting with this, okay, is especially in my past, I have really used my creativity to help. And it's very interesting because there are children here. So I've tried to use my creativity as much as possible to help children. And yes, I have reached out to angels and to the divine. And so this just means that in the past, I've had Archangel Gabriel help me in this area. And this is an angel that if I continue to do this and I really feel like I need the guidance, then I can ask for Archangel Gabriel to help me. All right, so let's look at the present. See what it says for me here. Oh, confrontation. Pick my battles wisely. And yes, this absolutely rings true with me right now in my life. So pick your battles wisely. And this really tells me that there are certain things in my life right now I just need to let go, that I need to really concentrate and have faith. And right here, I'm really looking at the tiger here to give me courage, to do that, to give up whatever no longer serves me. And that is something that I am working with. Isn't it interesting how whenever I say it's going to be my reading, and I think it is actually. All right, so the future thing is once I get that under control, this is what may happen is I will have good fortune. In other words, I'm going to have faith and I'm going to be able, once I let this go, then my feelings will switch to gratitude and I'll be able to invite the magic in. I'll be able to accept things because whenever you have emotions and you close a lot of your chakras and a lot of emotions and you're angry, it's hard to really think about good things. You kind of get in a rut. So once I get through this and I have the courage to let it go, then I'm going to be able to see in the future what I can do with good fortune. Okay. So, and if I looked at this card, what I'm really getting look at, because there's so many different pictures on this, is the rainbow. So once I really let the anger go right now that's happening in the present and letting, live more simply, I will have more color in my life. So that's what I am really being drawn to. So that is the 3-card spread. All right, now you have seen the 3-card spread. And again, children, if they are doing oracle readings, one card will be good. And it's just kind of giving somebody guidance. One card is good enough. Now, if your child cannot find a card deck for them, and there are so many different themes, you can actually have them create their own. So what you can do is you can go to, now I found these on Amazon, and they can develop their own cards. So this is a blank tarot cards, but it can work for oracle cards too. And the price is very cheap. This is something they can do. If they cannot draw, they can always find pictures on the internet, or they can find them in magazines, which with my drawing skills, I could draw. But the main purpose of this exercise to make their own cards is because it puts their own spin on it, their own energy. All right. So, and whenever you make tarot cards, what I have been told what your child needs to do is to really relax, and they can meditate over it. And they can even listen to some music as they meditate and really set the intention. Please give me words, inspirational words that will help others so that I can create my oracle deck. And just give me those words. And of course, this is going to happen over several different days. You're not going to be able to do a whole deck in one day. So you may want to do maybe one a day with your child. So, and then what they need to do is they need to think of a word. And like right here, all right, it says gratitude. So if they come up with a word with gratitude, they just write gratitude on the very bottom of the card. They don't have to come up with a saying, because these cards right here only have, guidance, retreat and recharge. That's all they have. And if your child is into like Pokemon, I know Pokemon's old, but if they're like into Pokemon or into robots, they can absolutely draw that on there. And like gratitude, maybe they can have robots having gratitude for, getting oiled up, or Pokemon, winning a match and feeling very much gratitude. So whatever picture that they feel like they need to have on the card, absolutely have on them. And you can start with 10 cards, you can start with 13. You don't have to have 40 or 50 cards whenever you first start. So a child might just have 10 cards. And once they develop their own Oracle card deck, then they can read family members. And of course, they need to go through the whole process of getting permission, of centering themselves, setting the intention. And once they understand how to do an oracle reading, they can go out and buy cards then. But practice, 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 and it will make them actually feel really good if the setter goes, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. And they'll be going, oh my gosh, that is really awesome. And if they need any type of numbers, and we'll get to the tarot cards as well, because the tarot cards have numbers, and you can actually do a reading with playing cards. And some children are really good mathematical with numbers and everything, so the tarot cards may be better. The oracle cards are actually really good for people that are very visual and storytellers. Tarot cards, you can tell a story as well, but it's very black and white. It has meaning to it. With the oracle cards, you can actually tell a story. All right, so I hope that this helps you, and so that your child can be a oracle card reader. And you can start this at any age, whenever they feel comfortable with it. And I mean, someone that can hold the cards, it's like playing a game. So, and it could be an oracle reading time. And you can even draw one card, because it changes each day, because our lives change. You can do a 3-card pool each week, and it may change because we have free will, and the whole system may change. You might have done something to change something in your life. So good luck to you. And as always, you can reach me on my website. You can reach my email if you have any questions. All right. God bless.